you start promoting whoredoms with your sexy reds, with your little Kims, with your Megan Thee Stallions, with your Cardi B's, the land falls to whoredoms. That's why the average black woman that's even not a whore has a whore's mentality. Right. You got regular working girls, church girls, that their relationships are based on an exchange. Their relationship is based on what you gonna give me for this sex that I'm gonna give you, for this time I'm gonna give you. Like, their relationship ain't based on, is this a good brother to have a family with? Is he gonna help me raise these children? Are we gonna be able to grow together and become something strong? The average black woman, Latino woman, Native Indian woman now, they done turned her into an exchange student.
Hey, Shalom Israel, Captain Mawala of the Isupk. Man, I just wanted to share a little bit of wisdom today. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be doing a Words of Wisdom series moving forward, because the wisdom is very important, more important than a lot of superficial things that we believe you know, are at the top. You know what I'm saying? This is society now where is money is looked at as just the end of all of everything. And money for skin is nice to have, but you cannot put money above the Lord's wisdom. I just seen a very disturbing video from World Star Hip Hop, where a brother, it says the description of the video is that this brother walked into his home and found his wife giving fellatio, or better known as head, you know what I'm saying, to another man. He grabbed his weaponry, shot at the man. I don't believe he hit the man as the man ran out the home, but he did shoot his wife. You know what I'm saying? He killed her, put the video on her, showed her dead body, and all of that. And you know what I'm saying? This is something I will tell you for brothers, you know what I mean, whenever you dealing with a woman, before you have sexual relations with her, you better do a heavy investigation. You know what I'm saying? Or it could cost you your life. In this case, it cost the woman her life and almost cost the brother his life. So it's a certain thing called vetting a woman. You know what I mean? You have to vet this woman, you know what I mean, which is like courting. You know what I'm saying? You want to do a heavy investigation. Ask this woman, does she have a man? Is she dealing with a man? And, you know, that's just the wise thing to do. Or otherwise, you could be stepping on a man's toes. Do not deal with women who have a man at home. You know what I'm saying? Investigate. You know what I'm saying? It ain't worth it. You know what I mean? The Lord created tons of women. You know what I'm saying? There's a ton of single women out here. And you want to find somebody that's single. You know what I'm saying? Or otherwise, you could end up in a bad situation. You know what I'm saying? And so be wise out there, man. You know what I'm saying? Be wise, be careful. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, vet these women, court these women, because it just ain't worth it. You know what I'm saying? This sister, you know what I'm saying, was a whore, and she died of the whore's death. The brother who did the unaliving, you know, of course he didn't know how to control his emotions, but I mean, that's a hard situation to come home from work and your woman is giving fellatio to another man. You know what I mean? But in the case of the brother who did the unaliving, man, killing another man over your woman being a whore, that woman ain't worth it either. You know what I'm saying? Now, more than likely, that brother finna spend the rest of his life in prison for unaliving a woman, you know what I'm saying, from that woman being a whore. So be very wise in the woman that you choose, man. Be very wise. That's why courting a woman is important. Don't get with a woman just based off of, you know what I'm saying, your sexual desire. You know what I'm saying, which is, of course, in the Bible. I just like to read, you know what I mean, one scripture if I could. Chapter 4, verse 5. It says what? Get wisdom, get understanding, forget it not, neither decline from the words of my mouth. You know what I mean? So why it's important, man. Get with men understanding, man. You know what I'm saying? I help you navigate you know what I mean, through life, especially life here in America, you know what I mean? So that's it, you know what I mean? My first segment of Words of Wisdom, I'll be doing more of these, more and more, you know what I mean? So stay tuned. Captain Mawakwala, the Isupk, and the Commander Jiniana. Shalom.
To keep the truth, keep the spirit of the Most High in Christ. Go ahead. There is only one truth. There's only one camp to make it specific to the people of today. There's one body. There's one gathering of the people that belongs to the Most High in Christ. There's only one order of priests that's under the order of Melchizedek.
There is one body.
It's one body, the Isupk.
And one spirit.
And one spirit. That spirit of masculinity that just oozes off in the Isupk. Y'all know that, you know the Isupk spirit.
Even as ye are called in one hope of your calling. One baptism.
One Lord, one faith, and one baptism, one teaching. What we teach in the Isupk is the only authorized teaching under the Most High in Christ. It's that simple.
Shalom, Israel. It's that time again. The Isupk, under Commanding General Yahana, presents the Lord's 57th Annual Passover. That's right, the Lord's 57th Annual Passover, April 4th, 2026, in Houston, Texas. All Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans are commanded to observe the Lord's Passover. This will be the biggest Passover to date. You do not want to miss this. Fresh lamb, fresh wine, and bitter herbs as commanded by the Most High. Only $200 per person, ages 17 and up. The biggest event of the year. There is only one Passover, and it's under Commanding General Yahana. See you there, Israel. Shalom.
Nobody else there to compare to. Train for war, men of war, and warlike apparel. Prefer our leaders, can't get between us. Watch where you stepping.
Hey, Shalom, Israel. Let's get it on. Make sure we got everything gone. All right. Shalom, Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shabrakatha. To the brothers, Yahweh Shemalatha Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shah to the sisters. Yeah, we good to go. All right, this is the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. Started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yahana. And this is our Tuesday Southern Illinois Brotherhood class, of course. Because Officer of 1,000 Kazawan taught a hell of a class yesterday for our biblical law class Monday at 7 o'clock. This is our Brotherhood class that we teach every week at the same time. First and foremost, I want to say give a big ups to Commander General Yahana. You know what I'm saying? For holding on to this truth. That's the ultimate brotherhood. The ultimate brotherhood is Commander General Yahana holding on to this truth for brothers like yourself and myself and sisters like yourself to be able to have a place of serenity, a place for peace. You know what I'm saying? Peace comes with this brotherhood and sisterhood. And without the brotherhood and sisterhood, you won't have peace. We'll continue to destroy each other as we've done for over the last, 50, 60 years at an alarming rate as far as Blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians is concerned, maybe even longer. I might be a tad bit off with that. So this brotherhood is especially important. It's a class that every single one of our schools teach. And it's a very, very important class, a very, very important thing according to the Most High. and into Christ. You understand? So today's Brotherhood class is going to be called The Power of Brotherhood in the Last Days. We all know what's going on in the world right now. We are sitting at our last days. We seeing all the things that's happening biblically, but also seeing all the things that's going on in the world. All the wars that's breaking out, all the things that the Bible depicts were going to start to happen when it's winding down to those last days of the return of Christ. You understand? So now we're starting to see these things unfold. So with that, what are we gonna need? What are the things we're gonna need for that time? We're gonna need. Hold on one second. Salakia. We are at those last days, and with that being said, this brotherhood and sisterhood is gonna have to be at its strongest. You understand? It's gonna have to be, it's gonna have to be a token of who we are and who we were at one point in time. Which brotherhood and sisterhood is what we had to keep us together. Why you ask your question this? Ask yourself this, might I say, Salakia. Why God's people must unite during this time? You know what I'm saying? Why brotherhood matter? Why does brotherhood matter so much in these last days? I mean, we basically living in prophetic times, or the times of the Bible says it's going to be wars and rumors of wars. We've seen this happen at an intense rate. How unstable America and all these other countries are. They are ready to almost go be at each other's neck right now because of the amount of tension that's going on. And we see it. All you do is turn the news on in the Middle East. It is almost a full-out war in the Middle East. And now, of course, Commander Junior Hanna breaks these prophetic scenarios down better than anybody I've ever seen. But now, it's coming time where you're gonna start seeing even more and more of the prophetic things start to happen. The Russia's jumping in, and the China's jumping in, and Turkey, and all of these other different countries that are all a part of the biblical prophecy. So y'all starting to see these things. It is high time for you to be on point, first and foremost. Secondly, get into this truth under the ISUPK. And thirdly, get your brotherhood and sisterhood in order. You understand? You should be coming into the ISUPK in droves at this moment, seeing that everything we've been talking about since 1969 is happening. You understand? So with that, we're gonna get into our first scriptures, and it's it's Matthew 24:6. And Matthew 24:6 said that and ye shall hear wars and rumors of wars. And this was when Matthew 24:6 was talking about these wars and rumors of wars. Of course, we knew it was going to be not only the wars that we have with the principalities, of course, the Americas versus Israel, or Israel versus Salakia, America versus Iran, Israel versus Iran, Russia versus America. Of course, those rumors and those wars, those would be happening, but there was also wars where you have, racial wars as well. You have these racial wars that's at its all-time high, because now we have a president that allows the oppressor, who is the white man, to to have his chest stuck out about who he is, as he should, as you should as well as a Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indian. And now you got an oppressor that's in the office of presidency that's almost what they call it exciting white culture. You know what I'm saying? They're exciting the white culture, and the white culture is now feeling themselves to the point where they feel like, hey, I can be as racist as I want, and yeah, America is ours, and we don't care who has anything to say about it. You understand? So you're gonna hear these wars, of course, but you're gonna hear these rumors of wars. You're also gonna hear these wars. It's gonna be wars in your cities. You know what I'm saying? You got wars, and you fighting warfare right now in your cities, where you can't even walk down the street without a white police officer racially profiling you. You understand? These are race wars you'll be fighting. Brotherhood is so important for these things because, you know, you see what happened with these ICE agents and all the things that they were doing. And all you seen was people putting up cameras allowing, you know, these things to happen, which, I mean, it ain't much you can do because of society now, you know, and our oppressor now uses a tactic of a fierce, a fierce bullying that they try to use to let you know, hey, I will destroy you or I will unalive you if you get in the way of what I'm trying to do. You understand? So you see one person get unalived. As far as the ICE raids and ICE situation over in Minnesota, 2 or 3 people, I believe, got unalived, and I might be wrong. It might be even more. But those were all fierce bully tactics to show you what would happen if you try to intervene in the oppressor's work. You understand? So this is another war you're going to be fighting, and a war you're going to be fighting on your own land. And the sad part about these ICE agents is a lot of them, it's your own people. So you fighting this war against your own people, unfortunately. Even in the Black and brown neighborhoods, the cops, they hire those Black and brown cops in the same light just to be the same exact way as those ICE agents are. You know what I'm saying? Use these bully tactics that they use to keep you afraid in your own communities. You understand? Christ warned about all these things. You know what I'm saying? He said all these things will happen before the end comes. World War III, these rumors, these wars, famine, all of these things will happen. And the thing about it is, we're going to need each other in these times. We're going to need each other during this global crisis that's going on. You know what I'm saying? During these times, people must depend on each other and not depend on no one else but each other. If you're Black, Hispanic, Native American, Indian, man, woman, or child, you would only be able to depend on your own people for survival. Because the brotherhood and the sisterhood, and mind you, I tell you every week, when I say brotherhood, I mean sisterhood as well. But brotherhood will be the difference between survival and destruction during this time. It will be the ultimate difference between that. The ones who decide to leave the brotherhood or even leave this truth, your destruction is going to be near. You understand? If you're going to go follow the oppressor, who is the white man, your destruction will be following right near, right behind you. You understand? Where your survival comes from the brotherhood, staying strong in this truth, staying strong on the morality of what the Bible gives you. You know what I'm saying? That the ISUPK been teaching for, years and years. So those are the things that you're going to need to survive during these times, the times of total, utter destruction. And not only that, you got to understand one thing, that the Most High is going to be with you. The Most High, I know it's going to be a time for a lot of people to be very afraid. It's going to be time where people are very scared and don't know what to do. These are the times you need to have the most faith you ever had, not the faith the Christian church taught you to have, to put a couple dollars in the collection plate in order to get your blessing. This is gonna be a different kind of faith. Now, you'll have to make sure you following these laws, statutes, and commandments. Now you have to make sure you are being brotherly and sisterly to your people. Now you're gonna have to follow the words of the Most High that He's giving you, and follow the leaders that the Lord put in place for us to follow, without a blemish of doubt. You understand? You're gonna have to understand that these men, like Commanding General Yohana, who's been put in place to lead a nation and the Lord's people, he's been put there for a reason, and you got to have that same faith. You know what I'm saying? Moving forward. You know what I'm saying? So, Salakia. All right, we're gonna go to Psalms 133. And this just, I love to bring up these Brotherhood scriptures. It's verse 1. And it says, "Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity." And, this is the Lord letting you know that unity is a good thing. It's pleasant. It's a blessing to be in unity with your brothers and sisters. You understand? This just means division amongst God's people is against God's will. Of course. He said how pleasant it is. It's like the Lord watching his children. It's like you as a father or even a mother that sits outside or sit at the park and watch your children play together. You understand? You see your children playing together, and it feels so pleasant. It feels so good. It feels like nobody can ever take that feeling away from you as a mother or father, watching your children play together in harmony, pushing each other on the swing, running around, chasing each other. It's a beautiful thing. That's how the Most High feels when he sees us in unity, when he sees us together, coming together as we should. Also, it's horrible when you have your children outside and they start fighting or they start arguing and yelling with each other. Now that's a feeling you don't like. That's a feeling that don't feel pleasant, and you don't feel blessed by that feeling. It's the same way the Lord feels when Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians are going against each other and not in unity. You understand? He has that same unpleasantness when you do so. So that means, once again, that that division is against God. He wants you to be unified. Unity actually produces strength. You stronger in unity. And I don't even want to, what I mean by being stronger in unity, because I don't want to get this confused with a lot of people saying that you're stronger in numbers and things like that, because it's many accounts of the Bible. I think Joshua is even a story where numbers don't matter when it comes to the Most High, but what does matter is the quality of men and women that come together. The quality of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians that come together. That's why it's so important for the unity to be genuine, to be according to the Bible. Because if it's genuine and it's according to the Bible, and we follow the laws, statutes, and commandments as we do, then the unity is going to be pure. You understand? The unity is going to be pure. So with that, just brotherhood makes us so much stronger. Ecclesiastes 4:9. Well, I got it here. If you want to get there real quick, that's cool. If not, I'll give you a second to get there. Some of these scriptures I'm gonna go a little bit faster with, so I can get through this class. But Ecclesiastes 4:9, it says 2 are better than 1, because this is telling you how heavy this scripture is. It's telling you that 2 is better than. And let me get all the way there for you, because that's one of my favorite scriptures right here. Get there with you for 1 second. It's so important that we understand how important this brotherhood and sisterhood is during these times. We got a hell of a future coming toward us when it comes to these wars and things that's going on. Like, some people ain't gonna know what to do. Some people ain't gonna understand why this is even happening. Your Christian pastor never told you that these things was gonna happen. He told you that Armageddon was gonna be a whole bunch of comets coming down from space and destroying everything. Well, that's not true. Unfortunately, your pastor lied again, as he have on many occasions. It's like it. So, with that being said, the ISUPK are going to give you the truth. We're going to tell you that when it comes to the Armageddon, that is thermonuclear warfare. Thermonuclear warfare is what the Bible is talking about. It talks about it all throughout Revelations. You can listen to Commander Junior Hunter's breakdown on it. He probably is other brothers that also have great breakdowns on it throughout the ISUPK. But that's what it is. It's not comets coming down. It ain't none of the other atrocious things I've heard that came along with it. So I'm going to go back to Ecclesiastes 4:9. And it says, 2 are better than 1 because they have a good reward for their labor. So this just tells you that unity between us as people, that's why it's saying 2 is better than 1, because 2 is better than 1 can mean one person with another person, or one brother with another brother, one sister with another sister is better than 1. One people, like say Hispanics and black, so-called blacks and so-called Hispanics coming together. We're together better than just us blacks being by themselves, Hispanics being by themselves, so Haitians being by themselves, Jamaicans, Dominicans, our people, Puerto Ricans, our people being on their own. We're better when we come together. The Lord says this. He said 2 are better than 1 because they have a good reward for their labor. That means the work that they're going to be able to do, they're going to get reward. They're going to have a great reward for it. My work is nothing if Commander Junior Hunter, he'll tell you himself, his work is nothing if the men that is underneath him, or that's in the ISUPK, aren't doing the same thing and following the law, statutes, and commandments. You know what I'm saying? The way Christ told us that we need to follow it. So we have to follow. We have to do these things, or especially in these last days. But we should have always been doing it, but especially in these last days. Our protection increases when we together. Our knowledge increases when we come together. Our strength increases. Everything increases when we come together as brothers and sisters. That's why it's so important. I know this is the days of independency where women say hey, I'm an independent woman, or men say they rather be single, and all these other things. This isn't that time. This is the time to build communities. This is the time to build families. This is the time to build a structure, you know what I'm saying, that is going to be able to make it in these last days. You understand? I'm going to keep going down. I'll go a little bit further. It say a threefold cord is not quickly broken. That's Ecclesiastes 4:12. And that's so heavy. A threefold cord is not quickly broken. And it's just giving you almost like a picture of what resilience is. Us coming together is a spiritual resilience. The brotherhood creates a spiritual resilience, and it's not quickly. Like when enemies can't, it's hard for an enemy to destroy a people that's united. Do you understand? A people that's united, the enemy has almost no chance of destroying. But individually, the enemy can destroy you. See, the enemy knows how to hunt a single prey, but they can't. What they can't do is hunt you as a united people, as far as blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. When they can't pit you against each other, when they can't put my neighborhood against your neighborhood, you understand? The gang banging, the gangsters, disciples versus when they can't do that, they lose their power. They lose their hunt. They lose the way they're able to hunt us, because now we understand what one needs and what the other needs, and we understand that we both need each other. You understand? So it creates this brotherhood. The brotherhood creates the spiritual resilience, just like it just said, like a threefold cord. You take three cords, and you can stretch out one cord, and maybe with a little power you can break it. But you take three cords and wind them together, it's almost impossible to break them with those three cords bound together. That's our brotherhood. That's the strength that we have, and it's likening it to that. You understand? So brotherhood, unfortunately, has been broken throughout, systematic tactics that not only America, but all these nations that have our people in captivity, they have used tactics to keep us divided, divisive tactics, might I call them. One of our biggest curses that we ever had when it comes to God, the Lord's people, is division. Division has become the biggest curse that we have, because with that division, we lose our morality and leadership. You understand? Now, we got black and brown people. Of course, we've been putting different nations and different, we so-called the African Americans, so-called the Puerto Ricans, the so-called Mexicans, the so-called Haitians. Now they all have a name that's not joining them to being the Lord's people. We lost our identity, and by us losing our identity, now we lost our morality of who we are, or we lost our culture. You understand? Well, the African Americans, or so-called African Americans, think their culture started at slavery. They don't know nothing outside of the slavery narrative. You understand? So with that, you want to make sure that we're not allowing these curses to continue to flourish. Salagia. So we know that the biggest thing that caused our division was oppression. You understand? Ecclesiastes 7:7 tells you. I'll let you get there. Ecclesiastes 77. Give me a second. All right, we had Ecclesiastes 7:7, and it says, "Surely oppression maketh the wise man mad." Oppression causes, mistrust and anger and broken communities. You know what I'm saying? How it teaches a black man or a Hispanic man or a Native Indian man not to trust his own people. Now you put our people in one. It's all, they always talk about that crab in the bucket effect. Well, you put all these people in one big melting pot of poverty, and now you got black and brown people trying to run over each other just to make it out of the hood, just to make it out of the barrio, just to make it out of the reservations. You break these communities because now you have black men and women robbing each other to make just to make ends meet, just so they can have money to go get things that they need, though, that they deem are necessities. You have major anger, which came from that systematic oppression. The black man, they had a movie, Tyler Perry. He's a horrible individual. Came out with a movie called Diary of a Mad Black Woman, and it was telling you about a relationship between a woman who her husband, maybe was treating her in a certain type of way that she didn't like. And, and it just shows you, even little movies like that, it turns women against men. When women went out to see that movie in droves by the millions. Now, what do you think what do you think the impression that left on women? You know what I'm saying? After they got through watching that movie. Now it's, I don't trust men. I don't care about, men ain't this, men ain't that. And this is your own people. Tyler Perry, who, for the love of his money and the love of, him wanting to have fame, he put out a movie that he don't even know that's utterly destroying black communities and black families. You understand? Not only that, he's put out many movies of that. So oppression surely make it, a wise man mad. And it makes you so mad, meaning crazy mad, like you don't understand that you are people that are lost, or what the Bible says, you are people robbed and spoiled. Spoiled don't mean what your little sister was when you was growing up. You little spoiled little brat. In a sense, it could, but this way, robbed and spoiled mean that you're robbed of your culture and you're spoiled to the point where you are no good no more as a people. The rest of the world looks at us as no one wants to be us. You're a spoiled people. They love the culture of what we do, but they don't want to be who you are. You understand? And that's just insanity in itself for our people to want to stay there, stay in that position. This is why unity among black and brown people has often been destroyed through the oppression that the white man has put up on us. You know what I'm saying? First and foremost, you got to know who you are. You got to know who you are. In order for you to come back together as brothers and sisters, you got to know you got to know the people you are. You understand? The people you are the people of the Bible. If you're a Black, Hispanic, Native American, Indian, the Bible, talks about that people would be, that it was a certain people that would be scattered and oppressed and divided. He talked about it in Deuteronomy 28. It says a people scattered. You understand? I'll read it real quick. Deuteronomy 28:64 said, the Lord shall scatter thee among all people. You understand? He's going to scatter us among all the nations of people. All the nations of people. That's why I just said, you understand, the so-called Puerto Ricans, so-called Mexicans, so-called Black, the African Americans, so-called Haitians. We were scattered to all four corners of the earth. And by us being scattered to all four corners of the earth, we've lost our identity. That was a curse that we had. That was a curse that the Lord gave us for not following the law, statutes, and commandments. You understand? So this is one thing that we teach and we talk about all the time. We just got through celebrating Black History Month. Black History Month. You celebrating a Black History Month once or 1 month out of the year. That show you how proud you are of your own people. Show you how proud you are of the people who the Lord say is a special people amongst all the nations. Will show you how proud you are of Him. That you give the Lord's favorite people on the earth 1 month of one month of celebrating. You should be celebrating your culture every single day. And your culture every single day is to be the Lord's chosen people. You should be celebrating that every day. You should be joyful. Wake up out of bed and say, hey, the Lord love me more than every other nation. It ain't a nation out here who the Lord love better than me. That's what you should wake up every single morning and tell yourself and be happy from. You understand? So you got to understand, we just read Deuteronomy 28:64. We was the people scattered all over, everywhere. These are the people that the Lord said are his people. These curses, see what you got to understand, these curses ain't for somebody God don't care for. These curses are for, this is the same thing as a father who punishes his child in the household. Put him on punishment, give him a couple licks to the chest, whatever you get. I don't promote no violence or whatever, but however you choose to punish your child, right? This is the same thing. The Lord is doing the same thing to his people as a righteous father would do to his son when he says, hey, I told you to take that garbage out. Now, hey, I don't come out that room for a whole day. Whatever you want to, you know what I'm saying? Whatever that punishment may be. It's the same thing. Now, let me ask you this. If little Bobby across the street didn't take out the garbage, you ain't going to punish him. The little white boy that stay across the street from you, you ain't going to punish him. Why? Because that ain't your child. You understand? You don't care if he didn't take out the garbage. You don't care if he didn't do the dishes. You don't care if little Billy didn't, you know what I'm saying, make up his bed or clean up his room. You don't, because it's not your child. The punishment comes to the child who you love. And this is why Deuteronomy, you know what I'm saying, Deuteronomy 28 is so important to us. And I'm going to tell you what's so even heavier about it. The Lord tells you exactly what punishments you will have and has had for not following the law, statutes, and commandments, not following his rules, his laws. You understand? So one of them being, if you want to go just slide up a little bit in Deuteronomy 28 to Deuteronomy 28:54. And in 54, it say his eye shall be evil toward his brother. Now, we see this every single day. Well, blacks and Hispanics, Native American Indians, our eyes, when I say our, I mean us as a people, eyes are tender. I mean, are evil toward our brothers. Like our hatred is at an all-time high between our brothers, our broken families. You know what I'm saying? Our eyes are evil toward the mother of our children, the father of our children. Even these days, even our children's eyes are evil toward their parents, their sisters and brothers, the community that you grew up in, all black community. You don't even have trust in the community anymore. Why? Because now they letting Arabs in to cook all the chicken. Now they letting all the Asian people in to do all the nails and own all the wig shops. Now, while they're flourishing in your neighborhoods, you're going further and further into poverty. That's not brotherhood. Brotherhood is not allowing those things to happen in your neighborhoods. And guess what? The Christian pastor and his church continues to flourish. Nobody's taking over his churches in the black neighborhood, but still enough, the neighborhoods are getting worse. More churches are being built in these black and brown neighborhoods, and they're becoming worse the more churches that are being built. Now, you don't see nothing wrong with that. You don't see that it's an issue somewhere, and where the issue lies. The issue lies in the Christian church. Your pastor has lied to you for quite a while now. He started with lying to your great-grandmother. Then he lied to your grandmother. And then your mother became the next victim of the Christian church. And then while your father was in jail, they brought in a pastor into the church, into the prison system to teach him more, to teach your father lies. And then they brought the Muslim imam into the prison, and he started telling your father lies. And now it's a ball of confusion because you have women who've been in the church that's robbing them for everything, including dignity. And then you have your father who's in jail, who's got robbed of, even further robbed of his culture by becoming a Muslim, Arab. Like, We are destroyed as a people, and it's all systematic, of course. It's all stuff that the Lord said would happen if we didn't follow these law, statutes, commandments. And guess what? It all happens because we don't have brotherhood. We don't trust each other. If we trust each other, I would never let you go be a Muslim. I would tell you, hey, God's chosen people, the greatest of all. Say it and tell you, greatest of all nations. Man, stay over here, man. That's how you have brotherhood. We just talked about it, that two is better than one, and how strong you are when it's more than one. Because even if you fall off a little, that other brother will come and pick you up. That other brother will come bring you back down the right path, or vice versa. That brother starts slipping, you go pick him up, bring him down the right path. You understand? It said his eyes shall be evil toward his brother. That was the curse. That sounds slightly different from what I just said about how do you fix it. Brotherhood, your eyes don't get evil towards your brother. And brotherhood, you have an issue with your brother, you go to he and he alone. And if you can't figure out or fix that, then you got a whole protocol of how you fix it without even ever swinging a punch, picking up a gun, or doing anything like that. It's so many ways to fix our nation. It just starts with coming together and understanding that the Lord has set some men in place, which is the Isupk, to be able to fix our people. And if you listen, open your ears and listen, and take in what the brothers and sisters are saying, then you will understand what true unity is, and you will also be able to have the brother and sisterhood, and first and most of all, you'll be able to have peace. You understand? So I'm gonna go to Salaka. Go here. So our brotherhood and sisterhood, I'm gonna say again, is so important to our survival. You know what I'm saying? It is important to our survival in these last days. We don't have much time left. You understand? We don't have much time left at all. So it's not a time for you to try to put off, walking into the doors of your closest Isupk. It's not the time for you to say, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it next week. You know what? Next year. I know us black folks, blacks and Hispanics, we love to say, well, next year. Next year. That's gonna be my New Year's resolution. Next year, I'm gonna get into school. You know what I'm saying? The Lord might not have that mercy on you. It is getting nigh time for the end of for the end of one world and the beginning of the world for Israel. It's getting real close, and you can take your time, but it's not guaranteed that time gonna be there. That time may be long gone within a couple days. You never know when the Lord ready to strike. I know one thing: Christ is probably sitting up there waiting, saying, "Let me get in, pops. Let me go and get my people." So just keep that in mind. The longer you wait, the longer you decide you want to wait on another month, another day, another week. The Lord ain't waiting. The Lord is waiting for that one command, and once that command come, He gonna get it on. We have to we got to come together. Our survival depends on it. Our survival depends on it. The Mark, I'm gonna go to Mark 3:24, which says, "A kingdom divided against itself cannot stand." A kingdom divided against itself cannot stand in no way, no form, no fashion. We should know this just by watching America. You should watch America and say, Democrats and Republicans, and they don't got a clue. They are house divided. Why would you want to have a ball of confusion when you can come together with your people? You understand? Division destroys nation. Like, you don't understand that? Division destroys nations. The division destroys communities. And guess, and more times than none, I ain't gonna say more times than none, all the time, division destroys families. Every single time. But guess what? Unity builds power. Unity builds that strength. You understand? So I'm gonna have you go to let me see. I'm gonna go back there. So go to John. I'm gonna go to John 13 and 35. So like it. All right. Excuse me. It's John 13 and 35. And these how you gonna know, you know what I'm saying, that you're doing the right thing when it comes to being a Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indian. John 13 and 35, it say, by this shall all men know that ye are my disciples. How? It's going to let you know. If ye have love one to another. So you can't even say you follow God or follow the Most High if you don't have love toward your other brothers, the Blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians, the 12 tribes. If you got hatred toward one of them other tribes, or I won't even call them tribes, against your brothers, let's just keep it there, who are the Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, if you have hatred toward them, you can't even follow Christ. You can't even the Bible says you can't follow Christ if you don't have love one to another. If you don't love them, you can't follow Christ. And I ain't talking about, I got a friend, that's a Hispanic. I got a friend that's the Lord tells you to love your people. That means love the people. You understand? It sounds like the oppressor, the white man. He always say, I got a Black friend. That's because you got a Black friend don't mean you love Black people. You just can deal with the Black friend that you got. That's what I mean. I mean, when it said God's have love for each other, or love one to another, that don't mean love just the one Mexican friend you got, one Black friend, one Native American friend you got. It means love all these people because they're your brothers. You understand? These are your brothers. The world should recognize, the Lord should be able to recognize the amount of love that we have for each other. They should say, man, every time ICE come around the Hispanic neighborhood, them so-called African Americans, they are surrounded. They want to know what's going on. They want to make sure that they ain't overstepping their boundaries. Like, it should be seen, the amount of love we have for each other. When we getting unjustly arrested, Hispanic brothers and sisters should be speaking up. Hey, why did you arrest them? I mean, let's not get too involved where it becomes a issue of safety, but we should be able to speak up for each other. And these days, that's really what we have, the ability to speak up for each other. Have these community outlet meetings, community council meetings, where you got Blacks and Hispanics in the same place saying, how do we fix our communities? Who do we need to go to? Who do we need to run to save the lives of our people? You understand? We shouldn't be recognized by the division that we have, which we are most of the time recognized by the hatred that we have, by the jealousy that we have one to another. You understand? Every music video, especially the sisters that's rapping, every music video is, I don't need a man, I don't need this, I take him for everything he got. Every video a brother put out, I'll unalive this man. I'll sleep with this woman. I'll take all his money and all his goods. I'm trying to be nice and say it the right way so I don't get taken off. But these things right here are that jealousy and that hatred toward each other and that division. That's not the way you gonna ever get two things. That's not the way you ever gonna get unity, and it's definitely not the way you ever gonna get Christ to come back to save your people. Now, what you got to do is stop being so selfish. You think that money, just because you're a millionaire, that it's really gonna save your life? Most people who's rich, they're miserable. They're miserable. Then they grow and get older and realize that they have fun with the money that they had. But guess what? Everything else that's precious that you should have learned or earned as a younger, especially women, as a younger woman who said, I don't want kids. I never want kids. You get 50 years old or 40 years old and say, man, I wish I had a kid. Now I can't have kids. Now I can't have a baby. It's no longer in my future. I wish I would have never got those 10 abortions. Maybe I would have been good. I wish I would have never got took all them plan Bs and messed up my system. You understand? So that you just got to realize these the last days, and the last days will be very dangerous if you don't have brotherhood and sisterhood with you. These last days will be very, very dangerous. I'm gonna go straight to 2 Timothy 3:1. I'll give you a second to get there. Second Timothy chapter 3:1. Say in the last days, perilous times shall come. Say perilous times shall come. What is perilous? Perilous is like dangerous. Dangerous times will be here in those last days. Well, why would it be? Why is it going to be so dangerous? Of course, it'll be wars. It'll be famine. It'll be violence, economic, collapses, and all of these things that if you're a community without unity, you're not going to be able to survive. If you're a community without a bond, a brotherhood, or a people that all came together, you're not going to survive in these times. The last days are going to be serious. Like the real deal is on its way. I don't know how long you think the Lord gonna wait for you to get yourself together, for you to get your life in order, to find you one of these schools of the Isupk to get into. I don't know how long you think the Lord's supposed to wait on you, but the Lord wants it's a lot of people that need to be saved right now. And I highly doubt he gonna be waiting on little Joseph to get his act right when there's so many more people who's trying to get into this truth. If you're listening, as a brother, sister, find you an Isupk near you. Find you an Isupk near you. All you do is go on Google, look up Isupk, wherever you're from. If you're from Baton Rouge, look up Isupk Baton Rouge, or I believe it's Shreveport out there. You in Indiana, they got two of them. One in Gary, Indiana, Northwest Indiana, which would be Isupk Gary. They also got Isupk Indianapolis if you further south. You understand? Isupk Cincinnati. You got Isupk in so many, almost every single state you could think of, if not something close by. And country. The UK, Mexico, Dominican Republic. Don't wait till the last minute. And you see, the last minute is already here. The last minute is here right now. If you ain't turned on the news and noticed that the last minute is here, you are insane. You understand? Bible tells us to consider one another. He says, consider one another. That means in order for us to be strong and strengthen ourselves, we have to do a few things. You got to lift each other up, meaning during some bad times, we got to be able to lift each other up, encourage each other when needed, when it has to be done. Sometimes you got to put your own feelings and your own personal things to the side to make sure your brothers and sisters are in the right place. It's a lot of brothers and sisters mentally broken and torn down because of the oppressor and all the evil things that he's constructed, along with the Christian church and all the evil things that they've done to destroy our people. Brotherhood gonna bring that back. Brotherhood in the Isupk is gonna exterminate all of those feelings and those oppressive devices that you've ever had done to you. We'll show you how to get out of it. We'll show you how to fix it. But you got to take the first step. That first step is picking up the phone. That's all it is. Pick up the phone and call your dearest Isupk, and so we can show you where to come from this immaculate and awesome brotherhood that we got. You understand? So I ain't done yet. So that's how we do it. Brotherhood is going to also restore our strength. You know, it's restore our communities. And that's if the Lord don't destroy everything on this earth first. But for right now, we'll get our communities restored. Our strength will be back. You know what I'm saying? Everyone helping each other. Everyone making sure everybody eat. Ain't no homelessness in our neighborhoods. Ain't no drug addicts. We taking people off of drugs. Taking them off of the drugs. Taking the drugs and throwing them back in the white neighborhood. Y'all keep y'all drugs. Our men and women won't be destroyed by your witchcraft. You understand? Like, we gonna have to stop. We're gonna stop betraying each other and start helping one another. God's people will unite before this deliverance, and regardless of if you there or not. Before the Lord come back, that's what I mean by this deliverance. Before the Lord come back, the Lord's people will unite. Now you ask yourself this: are you gonna be there? Are you gonna be a part of it? Or are you gonna burn up in the lake of fire? Which I pray you understand. It's a thermonuclear warfare that's gonna burn your eyes out your head. If your money mean that much to you that you rather take that death, which is a horrible death, the Lord be with you. But I won't take that death, Lord willing. I get every brother and sister together as much as possible. You understand? And the Lord said in Ezekiel 37:17, which is a heavy scripture, they shall become one in thine hand. That means our division will end. Our brotherhood will return. You understand? God is going to show you that all those things he promised you through us coming together and uniting and becoming brothers and sisters again, they're going to happen as soon as we do them. So, and lastly, more so, Salaki. Can I call you right? I'm teaching a class. Can I call you right about 5 minutes? Can I call you right back in 5 minutes? I'm teaching the class. I'm finna finish it up.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. All right.
Salaki. And one of my favorite scriptures of all, is Zephaniah 2:1. I mean, you can't close out this message in my eyes without bringing out Zephaniah 2:1. And if you want to get there, you can with me real quick. Let's knock this one out. And this is how we're going to end the class. It's a short message, but it's the heaviest, one of the heaviest messages when it comes to brotherhood. Zephaniah 2:1 says, "Gather yourselves to Salakia." Let me go to this one. It says, "Gather yourselves together, yea, gather yourselves." I mean, Salakia, yea, gather together, O nation not desired. Now, this is so important that we understand first who he's telling to gather. He's not telling everybody to gather. He's not telling every nation on this planet to gather. He don't have to. First off, he don't have to tell. Russia is in Russia right now. Russians is in Russia. Americans, they didn't stolen every piece of land they got, but they people are here. You understand? It's the nations, the nations that need to gather are the nations that don't know where the hell they came from. They don't know and don't even, what they say, don't even consider. I'm paraphrasing. The ox knoweth his owner, and our people don't even consider. You know what I'm saying? An ass is master's crib. We don't even consider. We don't even know where we came from. We don't even know who is our owner. Who is the man, or who is our father? We don't know that. But the dumbest animals knows his owner, and the dumbest animals knows his crib, but we don't even consider. You understand? We are a nation that is not desired. We are a nation of people who everybody takes from, but nobody wants to be like. Nobody wants to be a black man in America. Ask anybody, do they want to live in a Hispanic neighborhood right now with ICE trolling the neighborhoods, trolling the Home Depots, trolling the Menards, looking? Ask them. Ask a Native American, a so-called Native American Indian, do anybody want to be like them at this moment? Still living in poverty in a land that was yours. Ask the Haitians that's getting arrested and destroyed coming over a border. The Mexicans getting arrested and destroyed coming over a border. Those are the nations that's not desired. Those are the nations that Zephaniah 2:1 is talking about. Black man, Hispanic man, Native American, Indian man, you are that nation that has to come together in order for this world, which is a world that's not for us, to become the world that is for us. As the world moves toward like global conflicts, the wars are starting to increase. The nations, as we see little by little, starting to collapse. The economy starting to shake, and money is getting funny. God, people must remember the one thing, and one thing only. 1 Peter 2:17. It says, "Love thy brotherhood." Love thy brotherhood. Brotherhood is not optional at all. It's survival. It's protection. It's preparation for the coming kingdom. The last days will be survived by individuals that's following law, statutes, commandments, and that are together under the Most High, following law, statutes, commandments, and they have ultimate brotherhood. Those are the ones that's going to survive. Brotherhood is going to be like our defense. It's going to be like our strength, our survival. You know what I'm saying? And without that brotherhood, you won't survive. With that, this is the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. Started on 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. Of course, if it's not of the ISUPK, it's a lot of other groups out here that claim to be teaching the correct doctrines and teaching the things. They all are false Israelite, so-called Israelite groups. You want to get the truth according to the Bible, and you want to get the truth from where it all started, you get this truth from the ISUPK that got started in 1969. Everything else tried to come afterwards. Everything else is spoiled, rotten, because if it don't follow what the ISUPK has deemed, then it's not even the truth. So, with that, this is the Southern Illinois Brotherhood class. We teach it every Tuesday, 7 o'clock. We'll see y'all next week, Monday, for the biblical law. For the biblical law class. Also, this week, the ISUPK Chicago, the Round Table of Truth Network. We got the Round Table of Truth every Friday, 8 p.m. You know what I'm saying? Some of the hottest topics, one of the hottest podcasts right now. Make sure y'all tune in. And with that, I'm going to say shalom. Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barak Thumb to the brothers. Yahweh Shema Allah Ta'ala Hashem Yahushua to the sisters. And with that, I'm out.